Hello guys, welcome back to Black Ops Cold War campaign we are doing. Part number 1, we had the intro, we had to put together our profile. We went after Arash and Kasim. We have been in Amsterdam, Turkey, and now we are in the safe house in Berlin. Our next mission, we don't have much information about. There is new evidence. So we'll examine the Amazon and see what the story here is. We're going to Vietnam. That is something we know for now. We have a picture of Camp Hastings, or Haskins, or however you pronounce that. Located just north of Da Nang, Camp Haskins was part of a conglomeration of US military bases that supported the Army, Marines, Navy and Air Forces. Russell Adler's MECV SOG team was briefly stationed there in the fall of 1967 and into the early winter of 1968. This photo was taken on a rare day without rain during the region's winter monsoon season. It was during this week at Da Nang that Adler's team discovered evidence of Pursuit's activity in Vietnam. So Adler seems to be that guy that always runs into Pursuits. Or Perseus. Photo of Russell Adler and Lawrence Sims. So Sims, which also is walking around in our safe house here. They were both in Vietnam, apparently. So this is sort of gives you a bit of a backstory on Sims, I think. After Lawrence Sims graduated from Rochester Institute of Technology, he entered the Army, where he served for 2 years before joining the ranks of the CIA. His first major assignment placed him on Russell Adler's team in Vietnam, where he immediately became one of Adler's favorite cohorts. By the end of their time there, Sims was also Adler's most trusted confidant. He has been a mainstay on Adler's various teams ever since. So this is Adler's main sidekick. We have a calendar from 1967. The Studies and Observation Group, that's what SOG stands for, began covert missions in Vietnam in 1964. In July 1967, Russell Adler and his small team of MACV SOG operatives were sent by the Central Intelligence Agency to the Quang Nam province in central Vietnam. While training and often operating alongside the other battalions that moved in and out of the area over the months, Adler's group always had an ear to the ground, listening for any word of Soviet activity. When a viable rumor appeared, they would move on their own to investigate. It wasn't until January 1968 that the CIA finally confirmed the presence of Pursuits. So they're looking for him for quite a while, by the looks of it. Doing along the Vietnam, whatever they were doing there. The events in Da Nang during January 1968 revealed an embarrassing vulnerability in the fractured jaw plan. It was immediately scrapped before any additional damage could be done. So something happened in 1968 into showing some weakness in the fractured jaw plan. As the fortune of the US military in Vietnam declined, senior military officers, including General William Westmoreland, began to enact a top-secret plan: the deployment of tactical nuclear weapons in Vietnam. Perseus learned of this plan and codenamed Fractured Jaw, as well as the storage location, as one of the first bombs sent into the country. So they have US military brought in some nuclear devices in Vietnam, and Pursuits learned about this plan, which kind of suggests he run away with one of them. Lawrence Sims' survival knife is also on the board here. One morning in early January 1968, operator Lawrence Sims left Da Nang Air Base with USAF Airman Darren Cobb for a routine recon mission. After experiencing mechanical difficulties, their chopper touched down in a jungle clearing 15 miles outside the base. While waiting for assistance, they were ambushed by Viet Cong and forced to flee into the jungle. Cobb was killed in combat. Sims, ammo exhausted, took Cobb's knife and circled the clearing perimeter. He managed to take out 3 soldiers by hand before reinforcements arrived and secured the malfunctioning chopper. Sims never parted with the knife after that incident. It now hangs from the board as a good luck charm. So he lost his mate and he kept his knife, basically, as a souvenir and also as a survivor thing. A lot of evidence that we have here, giving us a bit more of a backstory on some of these people here. We talked a bit to some of them. We know that Khazar, or whatever his name is from Mossad, from Israel. And then we had Sims walking around in the garage, not really knowing who or what. He was up there. Now we know. He's Adler's main sidekick. And he fought with him in Vietnam. And that's also where we will be going for the next mission.
All right, Bell. We're going back to Vietnam. First time Perseus pinged our radar. It was late January '68. We were a joint CIA-SOG task force embedded within the 3rd Marine Regiment near Da Nang. SOG was there to sniff out Soviet activity. Word had it Russian operatives were active in the region.
Perseus had no known presence in Vietnam.
That changed at Da Nang. Somehow Perseus knew about Operation Fracture Jaw.
Fracture Jaw. That one sure went sideways.
We launched out of Camp Haskins.
Yeah, I'll never forget that shit.
Good. We want those memories. No details too small. A face, a name. We're looking for anything that can lead us to Perseus.
This feels like looking for a needle in a haystack, in a field of haystacks.
Maybe, but that needle's somewhere. Remember, we had a job to do.
Fracture Jaw. That one sure went sideways.
So we seem to be looking for answers. We come into
Time
this.
to wake up.
We can't remember that we were in Vietnam or anything, but apparently we were. At least, that's what they try to tell us.
Welcome to another day in the life of Camp Haskins, a little oasis in the middle of this godforsaken shitstorm.
Camp Haskins, it's pronounced.
You're pretty safe here.
I always let him go a bit because
How's the arm?
the walking is pretty slow.
But at least I can move it.
So you're always like walking in some sort of slow motion mode, which can be a bit of a problem if you're in the middle of fights, because there you also have sort of these cinematic things happening. Okay, we're going on chopper apparently. Board the chopper.
Hey Sims, you know reading that shit's gonna make you go blind.
Yup. That's why I want it all up here.
Bell, you're with Sims. You usually bring out the best in each other. We got a new assignment. FOB-4 Ripcord is holding a vital asset that Charlie wants real bad.
What kind of asset are we talking about?
The kind you don't ask about. Ripcord has been taking a hell of a beating, so it's our job to secure the asset and get the fuck out. Relax, we got fast flyers providing combat air support for this mission. It'll be a walk in the park.
Walk in the park. It usually never is, but
Headsets on.
All birds check in when ready. Badger 9-1, good to go. Badger 9-2, clear to go. Badger 9-3, rotors up. All birds, go, go, go. Crank up and pull pitch. All birds are in the air.
You all sitting comfortably?
Oh man, Adler. Why do I get the feeling you about to give us some bad news?
Because you're a smart guy, Sims. But the news isn't bad. In fact, it could be very, very good. The asset at Ripcord is gonna have to wait a little while. We're breaking off from the Armada, taking a detour.
And that's good because...
A source tipped us off that there may be a heavy hitter in town. A Soviet operative known as Perseus.
Oh, shit.
Appreciate the enthusiasm, Sims. If our source is right, we could be looking at an intel gold mine. First time Perseus pinged our radar.
Approaching the village now. Yeah, roger that. Moving to establish an LZ.
RPG! Talk 2, light him up! There, in the bell tower! Fuck yeah! Open fire in the courtyard! Nice shooting, Bell! God damn it, 4 RPGs on the rooftop!
Hold on. Swing it around.
Don't let up, Bell!
Visual on LZ. Taking us down.
You and me, Bell. Let's do this.
Apparently we're going out.
Sure about this, Adler? Streets ain't exactly empty.
Your priority is securing any intel.
Fuck, are you still alive?
Our source eyeballed the Soviets at a building in the center of town.
Let's go, Bell. You're on point.
Keep pushing forward. Get low.
Cover me. Shit, I'm exposed. We're being flanked.
Sims, Bell, that's the building.
Let's move.
Keep your heads down. We got this.
Area clear.
Okay, get inside. See what we got.
I've got contact. Go, Bell. I'm right behind you. Need some cover. Moving. Get moving.
Investigate the Soviet presence.
It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You hear that? It's on you, Bell. Open the door. Adler, we confirmed it. Soviets on site.
You sure?
Well, I'm staring at two bodies that sure as hell don't look Vietnamese to me. Bell, grab that comms log. Let's see who the fuck they've been talking to. Mission accomplished. We have the intel.
Even
Let's bug
picking
out.
up this intel
Good
here,
work. Hang on to that intel.
it's always
We're coming
like
in
in
to
some
pick
sort
you
of
up.
slow motion. So you always have to wait a bit and then start moving. Rendezvous
All right,
with
let's go
Adler.
rejoin the Armada and get this fucking asset.
So we need to get the hell out of here again. Which of course is not.
Badger 901, this is Ripcord. We are still under heavy fire. VC are breaching the perimeter. What is your status?
We're inbound now, Ripcord. Get that asset ready for transfer.
Roger that, 901. We'll keep the assets safe as long as we can. Ripcord out. Badger 901, in the air.
Let's see.
VC are all over the mountains. No civs here. All targets are valid. Tear 'em up, Bell. Target the hut. Fuck yeah. That's it. That's it. We're taking damage.
Badger 901, we have confirmed the visual on an enemy bird headed your way.
Since when did the crew get burned? They don't. Fucking Soviets. Take down that high. Yes, he got your ass zero. That's it. Stay on it. I think you got it. Yeah, you got it. Good job, Bell. They set that hind after us. They're pissed we got the intel.
Ripcord base, 20 seconds out.
Ripcord, this is Badger 901. We're on final approach.
Roger that, 901. The base is still hot, so watch yourself. We'll do what we can to clear an LZ. Get the asset ready for transfer.
Roger that, Ripcord. Watch the caves! Bastards are dug in! Open fire! Multiple ground targets! Pick them off, Bill! VC convoy on the road! Take out those supply trucks! Every one of them rearms the enemy!
Badger 901, this is Ripcord. You need to push back the VC reinforcements before we're overrun. Be advised, we have multiple birds in the air. Watch your fire.
Enemies dug in all around the hillside! We don't have a hope in hell of landing if we don't take out those positions! Light them up! Keep it up! Ripcord's taking a beating. Take out those targets.
Badger 901, our scouts have identified a significant enemy force approaching from the south. Divert to intercept.
Roger that, Ripcord.
We had to clear our path back to base.
The base is still hot, so watch yourselves.
Roger that, Ripcord.
You Adler? Mac v SOG?
Yeah, just hurry the fuck up already.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank Bell. He's the one who just snagged us a fucking phone book full of Soviet intel. Let's go. Now.
Godspeed, Commander.
A fucking nuke? Are you fucking kidding me, Adler?
It's a failsafe. That's all you need to know.
We that desperate already.
Not yet.
We're just picking up a nuke randomly.
RPG!
Oh. Mayday, Houston, we have a problem.
Somehow Perseus knew.
Oh, the nuke is still alive.
Bell, you okay?
Surprisingly.
We're okay. Bell, let loose of that goddamn turret before we're overrun.
Are we shooting people upside down?
We need air support! Bell, call it in! Grab a weapon! Keep them the fuck off us! Where's that air support? We're moving to Wait! Here it goes!
Ouch.
Bell! Still with us?
Part of the scenario by the looks of it.
You think we can call this a success, Sims?
At least the nuke didn't go off.
More importantly, we got intel on Perseus. Told you we had a job to do. It ain't done yet, not by a long way. Yeah.
How did the memory exercise go? Well, to hear it from Adler, it's working. Bell remembered finding that encrypted intel in Vietnam and is almost finished decoding it.
Anything useful in there?
Some names, apparently. Possible leads. Park is trying to connect the dots.
We don't have much time. Does the team know about our mishap in Berlin yet?
No, but if it's connected to one of those names from Bell, they'll find out soon enough.
You won't let that happen, Hudson. Don't say anything more than necessary.
That's never been a problem for me.
So what seems to be the case here is that we lost some memory or so.
We've finished analyzing the names Bell acquired at Da Nang. One in particular stands out. Anton Volkov. He's a Russian arms dealer working out of East Berlin. Admittedly, his connection to Perseus comes as a surprise.
We've got killer capture orders on Volkov. So if we can't get to Perseus, we'll get to his men. Close off his resources, force him out of hiding. Mason and Woods are still wrapping up business in Kiev. Which means Volkov is ours. Gear up, and we'll move out.
Okay. The board it is, I'm assuming.
MI6 has been tracking Volkov
Oh,
for several
she wants
years.
something to say.
It is my strong preference that we attempt to capture rather than kill him. He holds answers to a great many questions.
Your preference has been noted, Agent Park.
So she wants Volkov, which basically means we have to capture him and not kill him, I guess. Okay. Yeah, we can talk to him again. Let's have a look on the evidence board. We have side missions available. Operation Chaos and Operation Red Circus. We have some new evidence for Perseus, but we can't go after him yet. Let's check the evidence again on Vietnam. That we went over that. Let's have a look. Operation
Listen
Chaos.
An ex-CIA operative named Robert Aldrich has gone rogue. Langley believes this asshole is working with Perseus to assemble a spy ring inside U.S. borders. We recently acquired an encrypted floppy disk from one of his agents that we believe contains everything we need to know about his network. If we can get to it. We know where Aldrich is and can move on him any time. But if we don't get into this disk first, we may nail Aldrich but leave his network intact. You may find some intel out on missions that could help crack the code on this disk. Keep an eye out.
Okay. So we have some side missions, but it's advisable not to do them yet. If we examine the evidence, this was found in Nowhere Left to Run. That was when we were going after Kasim in a rush. And we found
discovered
this
Kasim carrying
coded
coded
message thing.
We believe it's intended for the U.S. spy ring, but no one's been able to decrypt it yet. Show him how it's done.
Let's have a look. There's a lot of all kind of weird symbols on here, but the second line is the most important one, and this is different for everybody. We're gonna have to decipher that going on. The red numbers is 23 question mark 33 38 43, which basically means +5 every time. That would make sense. So then the red number would be 28. The blue number is +1, +2, probably +3, and then +4 is 64. Is that correct? Yeah, I think so. 54 to 55 is +1, 55 to 57 is +2, 57 to the question mark will probably be +3, which makes it 60, and then +4 to 64. So the blue question mark is 60, the red one is 28. So we have 28 and 60. That's the only thing we know so far. Next to the fact that we go after our friend, what's his name? Aldrich. This is sort of how this thing works. We want to go after him, but we want to get his network first before we can go after him. And the only way to get that network is by deciphering the intel we collect in the missions. So we have to do the missions first. The only thing we know so far is if you click on that, you see some things, but you will see that it changes into a series of numbers. Different for everybody, like I said. It's even different now that I played this for the video series than when I played it yesterday in one go. I had a different series of numbers. Why we knew those numbers, that's for later, because we don't have the other intel yet. Because you want to decrypt this disk here, and if you click on that, it opens up some computer. It wants a code.
This is why we need you. Show us those skills.
And then it wants a passphrase. And then you try to authenticate it, and it says access denied. You want to have access granted here. The only way to do that is by deciphering the code and the passphrase. But we don't have the intel as yet, so we cannot also... you can hold the mission without the intel, a bit risky business. The same goes for Operation Red Circus.
spent the last year tracking a group of embedded Soviet agents within multiple European governments. These agents could be strategically positioned to set up a larger Soviet plan for Europe. During a recent operation, we acquired information about this group's structure. There are 3 unidentified key agents leading it, and their handler is the Soviet Major Vadim Rudnik, a name previously connected to Perseus. We have Rudnik's position and can move on him, but if we don't first identify his 3 lead agents, we risk losing our chance to take all of the embedded agents down. Check out our list of suspects here. Special evidence you find on missions will help identify the 3 lead agents. I'd advise figuring out who they are before going after Rudnik.
Sort of similar as in Operation Chaos, Operation Red Circus, you need to find intel. It's also pretty empty here. The only thing we have is a KGB profile from Vadim Rudnik. That's the main guy we go after. But he has 8 people running around him. And the only thing we know from these people is a recent travel list. So we sort of know where they were at a certain moment in time. American connotation though. Which means that, like over here for instance, Poland 110, that's not the 1st of October, but that is actually the 10th of January. They first put in the month and then the date. You can see that, for instance, here in Paris, 1/21st, there is no 21st month, it's the 21st of January, 1981. And that is what we get here. We know where these people were at a certain moment in time. And if you go over that list, you will find that some of these people were on the same place at the same date. So we're going to have to narrow that down to figure out the 3 main characters or the 3 main sidekicks of Rudnik. There are a few corrupt agents amongst us here. But we have 8, we need to find 3. And given we don't have any evidence, we can't do much with it. If we find those 3 evidence, we can narrow it down to 3, if we find all the evidence. So always keep an eye out if you're out on a mission. You need to find the intel. And that's not, sometimes things happen and you move on and you forget something. I think it was on the next mission, which is a brick in the wall. You can see that you need to collect 2 items, so make sure you click and collect here and there on things. There are certain things you will see a circle pop up which you can interact with. If you only found 1, then you need to check around the place. Otherwise you're going to have to redo that mission to find the intel. That's sort of what I had the first time, it's specifically in this case. I forgot to enter a certain building where the other intel just happened to be. That's how it goes. That will be for next time. We'll sort of go mission by mission. And in this case, we did the Vietnam mission, unlocking 2 side missions, which we can't do because we need to find intel, and also unlocking the next mission, which is Berlin-based Russian mobster Anton Volkov. That's the next one we will go after, more or less. Let's have a look. A Russian mafiosa in Berlin, that's where we go after. But we have Franz Kraus as well. He's one of Anton Volkov's key pawns in East Berlin. So we're probably gonna go after this guy before we can get to Volkov, something in that order. We have some surveillance. We know there is an East Berlin meeting at 11:30 p.m. 732 Bergstrasse. That's the address. U-Bahn newspaper clipping. That is subway, aka metro. That's the Untergrundbahn or something, probably U-Bahn. We have a blueprint of Franz Kraus' apartment, which kind of suggests we're gonna have to go in there. We have a tranquilizer gun apparently as well, which we might need to use here or there. We will see. This one was part 2 of the campaign. We did what we had to do in Vietnam, and now we are back in the safe house in Berlin. And this time we stay in Berlin by the looks of it. So I will see you guys in the next video, where we will have a look on Kraus and Volkov. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.